This is Raw Hogan for Punch Out Boxing. I am here with two young men who have come to that point in their career that every fighter has to face at some point. The so-called crossroads fight. On my right, Tom Ansell, 10-3, more experienced fighter, had a few goes at the championship level. On my left, the young upcoming stud, Aaron Prospere, still unbeaten. And the man in the middle who makes these fights happen, John Trethaway. Gents, thanks for joining me. Tom, we'll start with you as the slightly more experienced man. I said 10-3, but most importantly, you have been at the championship level for a couple of fights now. Just fell short against Abid and just 6 weeks ago, Denikayev. Tell us what you learned and what's going to be different this time.
I've learned, just learned how to get through championship rounds now. Obviously, two tough fights, two close fights as well. And just learn how to set a pace and how to deal with championship fights.
Aaron, 10-0, but I think you'll be the first to admit those first 10 fights, a lot of them were just target practice. L plates are coming off. Now your career gets serious. Championship level, this is to get into the level that you want to be at and beyond. Tell me, why are you ready now?
I think I've had 10 fights, so I was hoping to only have 6 or 7 before I went for a title, and the opportunity didn't come up, but now the opportunity presented itself, and I've got a title against a good opponent, and I couldn't be more ready.
Absolutely. Tom, 10-3. How much pressure are you under? Who's under more pressure? Yourself, because lose again, then it might mark you as, well, you found your level, or young Aaron, because it's his first time at the championship level, he's still got his O. Who do you think is going to be under more pressure here?
I want no pressure, man. About I'm just up for fighting. This fight, good fight to have. This fights I should be having. But I don't really feel any pressure. If anything, I'm the underdog.
I'd say we're under probably the same amount of pressure. I'd say we're both under a little bit of pressure. As you said, you need to win this, and I need to win my first championship fight. So I'd say that's a little bit of pressure on both sides.
Obviously, Tom, he's had a couple of them title fights, so maybe he's been a bit more visible. Have you seen any of his fights? Have you come across him before?
I watched his last fight before it got taken down. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've seen so far. I've seen him do, I can't remember what it was, that TV show. I see that. That was a good scrap there. Yeah, that's pretty much seen.
Tom, seen much of Aaron on the circuit?
Done a lot of research, but there's not loads to take off it because he's getting journeyman. Yeah. So there's not. Obviously, we can see some of the repetition in punches and combinations he does, but it's a different type of fight. Journeymen are there, they're testers, but
Not much to count.
it's not much to really go on, is it? So, we'll just see. I think he knows what I'm going to do. I know what he's going to do. It's just going to be a good fight, isn't it?
That it is. And John, you always bring these 50-50 fights to your card. Tell us why this is the perfect time to get these two together.
Yeah, it's a good shout, and I do think it is a 50-50, I would say that. On my right, you've got Aaron, obviously, we've worked with Aaron before, we've worked well with his gym. He is 10-0, so he's had busy last year, 7 or 8 last year, really busy. Now he's a step up, so there are people that say he's had a lot of journeyman there, but that's given him the grounding, and now he's ready for the step up. don't be misled anybody that if they are journeymen, where he spars is with elite fighters every day. I've just watched him spar, what do you do, 6-8 rounds there? These are top people he's sparring. A lot of the people he spars daily are like TV fighters anyway, so that will help him put him in a good step. But it is a big step up, you know, because it's his first 50-50, and I don't see it as a 60-40 either way, I see it as a 50-50. Hats off to Tom and Tony, his team. Didn't know Tom, he'd come off the back of that defeat by Dennis, spoke to Mo prior, and I was like, do you think they'll take the fight? Mo made the call to Tony, and I think the phone call was back in about half a minute, and it was like, yeah. You've gone with Sajid Abed, you went to points, who's now fighting for the English title against Lucas Ballinor. We know well because we had him for the English title when he won it, and he lost on points there, so that's no embarrassment at all, and giving him experience. And similar with Decky. I haven't seen the fight, I've got to be honest, but all I've heard around the gyms is you've got a little bit rough, is what I've been heard. So I think there's 3 or 4 points in it. You're really a away fighter, so had it been a home fighter, could it have been different? I don't know, I haven't seen it, it's only what I've heard. And that just sets up for a great fight, and it's should be really good title fight on the night.
So, how do you assess in terms of the pressure situation? Like I said, Tom, because he's had a couple of defeats at the title level, but then young Aaron now has to step up for the first time. In that situation, who's the pressure under more?
It's a good question, and I've got an answer for everything normally actually, because you know, I'm not actually sure. You've lost 3 fights, but as I can't think who the other one was. The 2 that we've just talked about, really good level. You will have learnt more in those fights than probably the other 10, 11 put together. I've never met a fighter, and I used to work the same role with Rashid and interview people. When they get defeated, they'll tell you I learned more in that fight than the last 15 wins I had. So he's got that Aaron hasn't. Is there pressure on Aaron that he's now 10-0, that double figure number, and people are expecting you to step up? People might look and say, well look, he lost his last fight. So I think people might look a neutral on paper and go, Aaron should win that. A little bit more experience over here. I've not even had the privilege of watching spar or anything, Tom, so only from what I read and what I see, which I think makes for a good fight. But I'm sure both teams will be great. Tony will have him ready. Andre Martin, they'll have the team at the Peacock. They always have their fights ready, so that'll be a good fight on the night.
They will indeed. Just to confirm, this is an English title eliminator?
Southern area.
Southern area. Okay, so a lot at stake for both of you at this point. And of course, 140 is such a stacked division. You guys have to go through the levels to get to that top table. And this is the perfect stepping stone for both of you. Where does the winner and loser go from this fight?
My opinion on it, you mentioned English Southern area, whatever. When you're 10-0 and you go and win an eliminator for a Southern area, you don't necessarily have to go into the Southern area. You might get knocked on the door for an English title. Exactly the same deal. If you go and win that with the people he's fought, why couldn't they go get a shot in English? It doesn't even have to be in English. Sometimes they go along a different route. It is looked upon as a very good 50-50 fight, and I know people from our Instagram, people I speak to, who wins that, John, and I'm not really sure why you ask them, because they don't have an answer themselves. So get your tickets and get down to what I think.
Absolutely. And where can fans get the tickets, just as an aside?
Both the lads will sell them, get them on Instagram, but get the lads, better for them. Yeah, still got tickets. If they haven't, we'll find some more.
Absolutely, yeah. I want to see a big turnout at York Hall. Atmosphere is always buzzing, so get your tickets from these lads. I just want to ask you, Aaron, we saw, of course, that huge fight in the same weight class-ish between Garcia and Tank Davis. First time a fighter steps up and you experience something you've never experienced, whether it's getting hit harder than you've ever been hit, or you know, the fatigue, the tiredness of going more rounds than you've ever had to. How do you prepare yourself psychologically for that?
That's a good question. The only way that I can think of is putting the work in the gym, and that's the only way I would be able to mentally prepare myself for a fight of that occasion.
Okay, and would you say it's the sort of work you do with the great sparring you get here?
Yeah,
do those
very
guys?
good sparring, and today I only done 6 rounds because we knew Tom was coming in, so we didn't want to be sparring when he comes in. Don't want to give him nothing to see.
That's right, we were filming it, mate. We've got a video already.
But yeah.
And Tom, is that psychological aspect, because Aaron's never experienced it under the bright lights, is that something you're going to look to maybe test, like say, let's see, how do you cope?
Like we're fighters at the end of the day, we're in and around TV fighters, high level fighters all the time. Like, if you're not getting up for the fight, then you ain't in the right job, pretty much. So these are big occasions to get up for. I'm going to be up for it. I hope he's up for it, and it's going to be a good fight at the end. Yeah.
And is this the first time you two have looked each other in the eye?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, looking at you both, I don't have a trained eye for this. Straight away I was thinking, is Tom the bigger man? Obviously you're 30, fully grown man. How do you size each other up, as it were?
You've got to do it on the
No,
night,
exactly.
haven't you? Because when you have your face on and things like that, you've got trainers on and like you haven't done our weight cuts yet, so you really can't tell. You can't tell.
Is it fair to say, as fighters, you don't look into it too much when you come across each other?
I don't take any of that. So what happens on the night?
All right, let's see. Let's have a final word to each other. Look each other in the eye. Tom, you go first.
Yeah,
Tell us how it's going to
Be
go.
ready, mate. Just be ready for the fight. Because we're coming.
And see you on May 20th.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Was it 2 weeks away? We're going to have a new Southern Area champion in just about the hottest division in the country. So fans, come down and watch an absolute banger headlining at the York Hall. Gents, thanks for your time, and we'll see you in a fortnight.
Cheers, Rashid.